I thought I'd do a final July garden catch up, show you what's going on in the garden at the end of July. The saffron squash are doing well. I've got a number of them down there ripening up, almost ready to pick. We've avoided the squash bug so far. This is my volunteer tomato plant. I think it's a Sweet 100 cherry tomato, since that was what was in this bed last year, so I think it kind of carried over and seeded itself. The cantaloupe are coming along. They're small. This is honey rock variety, so they're not very big cantaloupe, but they sure are tasty, and they're doing well. The cucumber beetles have left me some to harvest. These are the peppers I transplanted, and they are not doing as well. They're setting some fruit since I transplanted them. I think I need to give them another dose of fertilizer though. This bed has eggplant in it, and I'm finally starting to see a couple of eggplant forming. So that's exciting for me. These are black-eyed peas, planted pretty late. The soil was pretty warm, but they are finally starting to set some peas. So I'll get a black-eyed pea harvest in a couple months. Peppers galore. These are golden star peppers, and I've got a couple of jalapenos in here. They're not doing great. These are King of the North peppers, and this bush is loaded along with the others in this row. I've got 6 King of the North peppers planted in this 6-foot bed, and on the other side of those I have jalapenos, and I see that jalapeno looks like it's ready to be picked, but we're getting some fruit. They like the heat we've been having. This bed, also a 6-foot metal bed, is paprika, and I see that they are starting to turn color, but they'll turn more red when they're ready for picking, and then we'll smoke them and dehydrate them and grind them up for powder. These are sweet chocolate bells. That's a good sized pepper right there. This plant has some more. So the peppers love the metal beds, they love the heat. These are black crim tomatoes, and although I'm getting quite a bit of fruit, they're really small, which I haven't quite figured out yet. I guess the larger fruit will come later. A couple of spare, some kind of bell pepper, not sure what. Put them there because I didn't know where else to put them. I do see a black crim back here that looks ready for picking. Yes. Oh, my favorite slicing tomato. The San Marzanos are doing well. They're coming along. Got quite a few on the vine. They produce pretty well for me. Then I've got green beans in this bed. I've picked, I don't know, at least 5 pounds of green beans off this bed. It's done just really well. And then I've succession sowed other beds so that when this one stops producing as well, I'll have the other beds. This is also a black crim tomato, and these are a little bit better size than the other ones. I don't know, maybe the other ones are too crowded. Onions. These are ready to pull. Onions did great this year. I wish I'd planted more of them. Got more San Marzano tomatoes in this bed. I apologize for the shadow. The sun's right behind me, and I keep stepping in front of it. San Marzanos getting ripe. Silver slicer cucumber looking ready to pick. This is delicata squash, which is technically a winter squash, but you can eat it as a summer squash, and it looks like one of them fell off. It got ripe and was ready to go. And I've got a few more onions, some cucumbers, more delicata hanging down there. I just saute those in some olive oil and they do really well. There's a little Persian cucumber ready to pick. They're usually smaller than the silver slicers. Usually get about 5 inches and they're good to go. These are mortgage lifter tomatoes. I've picked quite a few. They were the first slicing tomato to harvest in my garden this year. Look at the size of that one. And that tomato, that's huge. Should have entered the hashtag tomato challenge that Chad down at down home backyard gardening, that's it, has going on his YouTube channel. Another silver slicer, more onions, more cucumbers. This is a new bed. This was strawberries, ever-bearing varieties, and I get about 10 strawberries a day off of it. I'm hoping for a larger harvest come fall. I've got the bird netting on it just to keep the birds out of it because they go crazy over them. These are Amish paste tomatoes. Really good size on these. I was a little bit surprised by that. Usually they're roughly the same size as the San Marzano, but these have done well. And then in front of them I've got some Golden Star bell peppers. Smaller. They get more shaded. Some basil down there. These are sun gold tomatoes in this bed, and they of course are just kicking it into high gear. I need to come out and do some harvesting. I love sun gold tomatoes. The only problem with them is if you don't pick them regularly, they do tend to split. Still good for eating though. Back here is the sweet potato bed. It's coming along nicely. That's still got a couple of months to harvest. We'll harvest it usually mid-October when the weather starts cooling down. Before we hit about 45 degrees, I usually harvest it. This was Blue Hubbard squash that I planted as a trap crop because I heard that if you plant it as a trap crop, it'll attract squash bugs to it and you won't have them on your other squash. I haven't had that many squash bugs this year, and I don't have any on the Blue Hubbard squash, so I don't know if it works or not. Something did. I've got russet potatoes in these 18-gallon buckets, and I've been picking the blooms off. Those have probably got another good month before they're ready to harvest. So that's what's happening in the garden. Late July. One of my favorite places to be, especially in the evening when the sun's going down and the light's a little bit softer. This is some of the succession sowed green beans. I planted these just a few weeks ago and they started coming up. The asparagus is ferning and it's done for the season. I just let it fern, and then when it starts turning brown, we cut it back and put straw over the bed to mulch it for winter. And it works pretty well. So that's what's happening in the garden. Oh, these are also green beans. And I just spied down low my first green bean out of this bed. So it looks like I'll have plenty of beans to can for the year. On the other side of this bed, I've got okra. And the cucumber beetles went nuts, as you can tell on the leaves. I didn't realize they liked okra so well. But I did notice that I'm starting to get a blossom down there. So we should be having okra in a few weeks. I'm the only one in the house that eats it, so these 5 plants will be more than enough for just me. So that's what's happening here in Pacific Northwest, Zone 8B, late July. I hope you're having a great day where you are and seeing the fruits of your labor in your garden. Keep harvesting and take care.